We're in Malachim Aleph, Perek and Zion. Today is Thursday, November 6th. And let's go. Pasuk Aleph. Pasuk Aleph. Okay, so let's just give a little background where we're up to. So in Perek Zion, we ended off the story of Achav. Achav was a horrible king, and Klal Yisrael's at a new low. Okay, now we ended off that Achav had a good friend, and his name was Chil. And Chil decided, we got the Gemara in a minute today. Chil decided that the whole story of Yeshua, the walls of Yericho, Yeshua went around 7 times, and the wall fell into the ground, and Yeshua gave a curse that says the person who's going to build it up, when he starts building the wall, his first child is going to die, and when he finished putting the gate on, the final child is going to die. So this guy Chil said, it's okay. I could do it. He had the guts, and he did it. We're talking about 500 years later. For 500 years, no one had the guts to do it. And now, finally, at the time of Malachim, he does it, and his children die. So now, Perek Zion starts off when Eliyahu Navi and Achav were Bimenachem Avol Chil, and they were in the Shiva house. And as follows: what happens like this. So Rashi brings down the backstory. What happened was, Achav tells Eliyahu Navi, says, look, how can it be that Moshe Rabbeinu says if Klal Yisrael doesn't keep the mitzvahs, it's not going to be rain? So Yeshua and the curse, right? Yeshua gave a curse that whoever builds a Yericho, all of a sudden something happens. So there's 2 ways to understand this Rashi. So the way the Oscar understands the Rashi is that he's saying this that Yeshua, that Chil's children died, it's not because of that. They died. It's not really because they built the wall. The Pashto way of Rashi, I understand Rashi, is that he's just saying is that a Taina Moshe Rabbeinu versus the story is not true. Whatever, that's 2 ways to understand it. I understand it one way, Asquan says another way. Anyways, let's just see the Pasuk inside. But Yom Eliyahu Tishbi. So now Eliyahu is by the Shiva call, and he's in Shiva for Chil. And Eliyahu Tishbi may Tishvi Gilad. He tells Achav, he says, Chai Hashem L'kei Yisrael. He makes a shvua, asher amadet lefanav im yel shanim ha'ela talamatar kiyim lefi dvarei. So it's continuing the conversation. He's saying is it true that Moshe Rabbeinu said there's not going to be rain, and the Klal Yisrael does a virus, and I'll make sure there's no rain, no problem. And he says, okay, no more rain, and he kind of had the key to the rain, and he stopped the rain. Okay? Why did he do it? Because the conversation was that Moshe Rabbeinu said if Klal Yisrael does a various, there won't be rain, and there is rain. Yeshua, the curse is the sky. How can it be true? So Eliyahu says, no problem, no more rain. I'll make Moshe Rabbeinu come true right now, and he stopped the rain right now. Okay, that's the backstory of that. Okay, now So now Hashem tells Eliyahu, now that he said there will be rain, you should go you should go eastward, and you should run away. Your life's in danger because it's not going to be rain. It would be a famine, and you have to get out of here. And now he tells him to start of Nach, and you should hide where in the area called Nach. We don't know where it is. It's somewhere in the north. So he went northwards. We know it's it's facing the Yarden, but somewhere right. I think I saw somewhere that we don't know where it is. We know it's north, and we'll see in a minute how we know it's north because he's heading up. We'll see towards even further north with where Hashem's going to tell him to go even further. So we know it's somewhere up northward. Okay. Pasuk Dalet. V'haya hanachal tishta, and Hashem is telling you, you'll drink from the nachal Chris. Arivim savisi l'chalcha sham. And I told the raven should feed you. Now, just what's percent of this raven? So normally we know that raven is cruel, and the raven doesn't normally feed their own children. So Hashem's telling you that the raven is the bird that's going to feed you. Okay? Now, so what does he do? He goes to Chris. Now, what happens? So what happens? This raven comes, the bird comes, and it feeds Elio in the morning and the evening and food, and he drank from the Nachal. Now, the Gemara says in Hedra from here, the Gemara declares where did he get the meat from? So one shot the Gemara is he got it from the house of Achav, and it was kosher meat in the house of Achav. The other shot, which I think is interesting shot, it says that the Melech there was what's his name? Yeshafat, he was the Melech, and he was a good Melech. The bird used to go to his table, take food from his table, and bring it to the Yonavi. So that's where the meat came from. So anyways, so Yonavi he's hiding Nachal Chris, he's drinking from the Nachal, and he's eating the meat from the raven. Okay.
Ate kosher?
Yeah, because the Gemara is a raya that you let to eat from. That's right. That's what he was talking about.
But Achav, according to the first shot, was from Achav's table.
Yeah, Achav's table and it's still kosher meat. It's a Gemara. It's an Hedron. Look it up. Yeah, it's kosher. In the house of Achav, they even had kosher meat. Yeah, it was pretty evil and pretty bad, but his food is still a kosher food. Okay, but he indicates Yom after Yom. The first say means 1 year. What happens is Vayovesh and Nachal, the Nachal dries up. Because there's no more rain, so therefore the Nachal started drying up. Okay. Rashi explains. It's like Rashi. Hashem didn't want this idea of no rain because it's hard in the eyes of Kadosh Baruch Hu to see Klal Yisrael in hunger. So Hashem wanted that Eliyahu Navi should go ahead and be a little bit uncomfortable and to go ahead and to give back the rain in a sense. Okay, right there. Okay. So what happens? So Hashem tells Eliyahu Navi, he says, "Kum lech Zarephath, go to Zarephath, Asher at Sidon, which is way north. You know, Sidon is literally in Lebanon today. That's why I said earlier it had to be going in that direction because you go up to Sidon, Vishat Sham, and you should live there. Because I told a lady, Isha Almana, she should feed you. So he's telling him to go up there, and there's gonna be a lady, she's Almana, and she's to feed you, and that's how you get food. Now, okay, let's go back there. He goes up, and he goes to the city. Because as he finds this lady, she was gathering wood. Love, and he calls her. He tells her, "Kachli mayim you should bring me some water from you." Oh, so Zok Rashi, as he says, so because Hashem told him that he should find Almana. But who's the Almana? So Sha'amal Lekadosh Baruch Hu Lama Eliezer Avram. Mamash Avi Roosevelt said, "You live Eliezer Avram." V'Amay said, "I said Shetite Li Abayim Lishas." Whoever's the one who gives me the drink, that's he Almana. That's to be the one. That's to be the person. So sure enough, if you ever lost, you need it always fall from the pasuk. So that's what he did, and okay, it works. Avi, you want some drink? Okay. Pasuk Yud Aleph. What? Oh, very good. I guess no one's asking. So maybe you read that Darius. I don't know.
Rashi said now a parsha was from Avodah Zarah.
Okay. But over here was better. Over here. Okay, let's go right there. Now she went. She brought Vayikra Elav. And she called it. She said, and sorry, he called out and he told her. He said also Lichina. If you also bring me some bread, I know you give me water and maybe give me some food. So she said, Chaya Hashem Elikecha. I make a shur to Hashem. If I even have a cake at all, if I have anything, in other words, I only have malikaf kemach bekat. I only have a little handful of flour in my jug. Umat shemen bitzafachas in my jug of oil. I only have a little bit of oil. That's all I have. So I have a little flour, a little oil. And I'm doing now. When he came, I'm gathering 2 pieces of wood. And I was going to make some sort of cake for me and my son. In other words, I was going to make myself a little food, and I was going to die. That's all the food I have left. That was the end of it. So I certainly can't give the food to you. This is my last bit of food I have. So Basi Gimel, and Eliyahu tells her, "I'll tell you, don't be afraid. You should do like he said. You should make the bread for you and your son. But asisi li Bisham uga katan b'shana. You should make for me a little bit of bread anyways. I know this is all your less bread, but maybe a little bit of bread. And then you should bring it out to me. And then, so you should give a little bread to me, and then you and your child should have afterwards. So the Farshim say that Eliyahu was really Pinchas, right? And if it's Pinchas, he was a Kohen. So she was saying was, you got to take off challah. So first take a little bit to give it to me, I'm the Kohen, and then you can eat. Afterwards, you can have from it. Okay, it's very interesting. Shot. Now, pasuk Yudalid. And Eliyahu says, Hashem said, the jug of flour will not.
It makes sense because
You finished? Yeah.
It makes sense because he's told them not to eat it until after they give it to him.
Right. Oh, exactly.
Say, leave me a little bit.
First, give me first. Take challah first. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Rabbi Yaakov's pointing out. First, we're gonna have. He's saying, give me first because I'm the kohen, and then afterwards you can take and your child can take because now we took off challah. Now, and he says. You'll see the jug of flour. You're going to keep using it. It won't be finished. It's Hashem and and the jug of oil won't be emptied. Ad Yoim says Hashem until the day Hashem brings rain. So Eliyahu is basically telling the Isha Zarephath that don't worry, there's going to be plenty of food. You can feed me, and there's going to be a special miracle going to happen. And the jugs and the jars will not run out. The flour and the oil will not run out. Okay? So what she do? She followed what he said. And they had plenty of food. They had food in the house for days. It means until it was over. Now, what happened? Like Hashem said. Okay, very good. So that's what happened. Now, just tell you the background here. The Gemara says that the Gemara brings down that there's 3 keys in Shemayim. There's the keys to rain, there's keys to Peruvu, and the keys to Tichyas HaMeisim. Now, the Gemara brings down that Eliyahu got the key to rain because he said there won't be rain. So the other 2 keys Hashem had. Now, Hashem wanted to bring rain, but somehow Hashem can't bring rain because Eliyahu has key. So Hashem had to make a story now that Eliyahu is going to need the key of Tichyas HaMeisim, and he's definitely not to give back the key of rain because you only have 1 key at a time, and that's why now we have the story of the child is going to die, and what's going to happen is the key of the rain is going to be given back to Hashem, and now the rain will have the Baruch. Yeah. Okay. Let's just see the story. Right. Exactly. Let's see pasuk. So this child, we said there was Isha Amana, and she had a child. So this child gets sick. And the sickness was very, very severe. It was very deadly. Ad Asher Lo Yinaser by Neshama, until the child passed away. The Neshama left. So now this lady, she goes to Eliyahu. She says, Mali Balach Ishalikim. What have you done, you Ishalikim? You come to me, and you came to me in order that they should remember my avarice and to kill my son. Why do you come? So Rashi says like this. So Rashi learns, the pshat is that the person gets judged based on his surroundings. So actually, until Yoga came, who shayklim ma'aseh. She was her judgment was based on the city. And she was worthy for a nace. I guess that means that I don't know why she's doing that. I don't. Well, what's a nace to it? I guess it means that the child shouldn't get sick. Exactly, he put that out. But now that you came here, she's not considered at all anything. They ain't discussing the karas, and therefore her tickets is not recognized at all based on her city. Okay. So, but in other words, she was a good person, but based on her tell she wasn't considered anything. But her city, she was very chashav. So therefore, she's saying, Eliyahu, why do you come to me and make problems? That's the pasuk shot to understand. Okay. Plus you test. See the doc maybe. Or Bag has a different shot. Okay. Plus you test. So now Eliyahu tells her, bring me the son. He takes the child from her lap. He brings the child to the attic. He puts the child on his he lays his child on Eliyahu's bed. Now, Vayikra Hashem Yomer Hashem Elokai Hagam Al Almana Asher Ani Mizgarima. Also, another on this Almana that's living with me. Haresa Lahamis Al Bana. Have you done so evil to kill this child? Hashem, how do you do that? That's what she says. Just the interesting question that's worth on Tichyas. How could he be Har HaMeisim? He's a kohen.
Oh.
Very good shmak. So one shot is what?
You're thinking the Chali's got to go both ways.
So
I like the kasha.
So one shot is a mace that they do Tichyas HaMeisim on Har HaKarmel. He's not a mace. Or the Pidima Tichyas says, or some even learned that he didn't actually die. He almost, I don't know, but first shot is that he died. Anyways, Pasuk Chav Aleph. Yeah, it says there's no breath left. Okay. So the question: what's called dead? Is it when the heart stops or the breathing stops? That's maybe you want to handle that. The famous shot of David. Yeah. Okay, or Moshe. I don't know. But Pasuk shot is he died, and Pasuk shot he's now going to perform Tichyas HaMeisim. Pasuk Chav Aleph. He's mighty El Ayela Chalish Pamim. So Eliyahu he spread himself on the child 3 times. The Gemara we learned now what he did was he put his eyes on his eyes. He almost like warmed the child up to bring him back to life. And they all say the reason why he did that is because when you make a nace, Hashem doesn't want to make an outright nace. You have to almost like do something to cause the nace. It's like when we do CPR, we're not really doing CPR. Hashem is bringing the person back. We do a maisa to show that we're doing something, and then Hashem brings the person back. So the shtabas. So the first time, two times it didn't work. Eliyahu is doing it. When he got the 3rd time, he kind of warmed the child up and brought him back to life, and almost like put life in him. Then Hashem made a nace and did Tichyas HaMeisim. So that's how they learn. That's why he exactly mouth to mouth, eye to eye, yadayim, and did it in order to like almost bring him back. So and that's why Eliyahu did 3 times. Vayikra Hashem, and he called that Yomi. He said, Hashem Alikai, Toshav no nefesh hayel. Please bring back this child to Tichyas HaMeisim on him. And what happens? Pasuk Chavbei v'yishma Hashem call Eliyahu. Hashem listens to Eliyahu. V'yashav v'tashav nefesh hayel al kibah v'yichud. So magic happens. Tichyas HaMeisim happens, and Hashem brings the nefesh of the child back, and the child's now alive. By this child, I think later it turned out to be the Navi Yomi. Just interesting.
The fish.
Yep.
Wow.
But we'll get there. It's just.
Wow. Rabbi knows because you get.
I don't want to be a spoiler and give you all the information, but that's yeah.
Your mouth.
Yikach Eliyahu Yelad. Eliyahu takes this child. He raised him in Aliyah. He brings him down from the attic. He gives the child back to his mother. Eliyahu. So Eliyahu says, "Ruch, look, the child's alive. He's good." So obviously from here it sounds like he actually died. Okay. Anyways. That's the pasuk. Anyways, pasuk Chavdalav. At time Isha Eliyahu, she says, now I know ki Isha Elikim ata. Dvara Hashem emes. Now I know that you're real Isha Elikim, and all that you say is emes. Now earlier she said you're Isha Elikim. So like why now? I guess now you really know. Did Tichyas HaMeisim, you're a real winner. So now, yeah. So Eliyahu successful Tichyas HaMeisim, and we'll see in the next Perek we'll do tomorrow. Now suddenly now that Eliyahu has the keys to Tichyas HaMeisim. Now Hashem is going to tell Eliyahu to go to Acham and let him know that the rain is going to start coming. That's the end of Perek. Tomorrow we talk about Tichyas.